Hi, everyone. Naomi here, head of Kavi Labs from Kavi Global. And today I'm going to be talking to you about a topic that is top of mind for many of the CIOs and Chief Data Analytics Officer, Chief Data Officer, basically all of the data and analytics leaders across industry have been asking me about this topic. So I decided to make a quick overview for everyone. And that topic today is MLOps, or machine learning operations. So if you're not already aware, MLOps is the use of machine learning models by the development and operations, the DevOps teams. And why do we care about this? Well, as I mentioned, every CIO now is talking about operationalizing analytics, right? What does this mean? If you can't have the right insight at the right time for the right person who's actually going to be able to take an action on that, then it's useless, right? Or whether it's a person or it's a digital worker in the case of software-based labor and that decision is automated, if you don't have that framework set up, then it's useless because no one has time anymore to go check that monthly, quarterly generated report, try to understand all of it, and then make their day-to-day operational decisions from that, right? It needs to be at your fingertips, quick and easy. That's how you're going to get the productivity gains of analytics, by embedding it into the business process and the workflow. So that's what CIOs mean when they say we need to operationalize the analytics, right? It's not just build a model and have it filling some report in a ML repository that nobody is looking at, that nobody knows about, right? That is a wasted R&D effort, because that last step, the part that's most important to actually realize the ROI associated with that model, is not happening, right? So operationalizing analytics is critical when you're talking about AI with ROI and realizing that ROI over time. So what is MLOps? It is a core function of machine learning engineering, right? Focused on streamlining the process of taking machine learning models to production. And then that's not it. No, you also have to monitor them and maintain them, right? So MLOps allows for organizations to alleviate many of the issues on the path to AI with ROI by providing that technological backbone to actually manage the machine learning lifecycle through automation and scalability, right? So why do we need this? You might have heard of a concept called model drift. So what is model drift? It basically is talking to the fact that machine learning models, their predictive power, it decays over time, right? And this could be for a plethora of reasons: the changes in the real world environment, or changes in the digital environment, or just some changes between the relationships between variables, right? So it's not enough to just build a model and deploy it into production and set it and forget it. No, they need to be monitored in production, right? The accuracy, the reliability, all of those need to ensure that they're within the specified thresholds. Otherwise, if they drop over time and no one is alerted to come and look at the model and kind of fix it, retrain it, redeploy it, then you're not going to realize the full ROI of that model, right? Because now it might even be recommending suboptimal decisions because it's drifted over time. So let's look at our Kavi Global best practice MLOps framework and the lifecycle here. So of course, it starts with model design. As with every analytics use case, it always starts with a business requirement, right? And ideally, you can quantify that need in terms of revenue growth opportunity or cost savings opportunity. And then you want to go ahead and see, do we have the data to actually answer this question and do the model development? In the sense, do we have data on the features that we think will actually predict or help us build this machine learning model? Do we have data at the right granularity to actually be able to predict at a transaction level or at a local level or at a lower level than just aggregate as needed in some cases, right? So looking at all these requirements and making sure we have the data, and then from the technology feasibility as well. Are we going to be running this on cloud? Do we have the right compute? If there's a streaming situation, do we have that set up? So we'll go ahead and do all of that feasibility assessment. And then, of course, we move into the model development lifecycle, which starts with the data engineering to bring in the data from your variety of source systems, getting that all cleaned up, having the data quality checks in place, having the business rules in place, doing all of that feature engineering. And then once your data and your features are ready to go, we're going to do a model tournament, right? That means you try all the possible models, see which one works best. So look at the output, accuracy, reliability, precision, whatever it might be, and see, are we good with that? And in some cases where explainability is important, like healthcare or other, you might need to actually do a trade-off and sacrifice a model that has better accuracy with one that's more explainable, so that they can actually implement that into their workflow and build trust in that model, and that will drive the adoption, right? So all of this is really important in the model development lifecycle. And then on the operation side, right now you have your model, it's good to go, the stakeholders have approved it, now you want to deploy that model. And there are many different methods that you could deploy it on, right? Your model might be just a batch model where you need to run it and forecast the demand week by week, and that's fine. You might have a more interactive model, like with our digital workers, where ML models are embedded into an application that users can interact with. Then your model might need to update as triggered, right? As users update something, you need to re-optimize everything, right? So then you need some API calls, you need to be able to re-trigger that model, get the result, re-display it to the user, let them again modify and go through that life cycle, right? Or you might have a model working in a streaming situation where it's deployed and the data is coming in, and whether it's video footage that's classifying every single second, is this neonatal in pain in the NICU, or it might be streaming all of the different transactions to identify fraud. So all of these different modes can be considered in the deployment. And then finally, once you have this deployed, once it's running in production, users are using it to make insights, we need to be monitoring it, right? Monitoring all of the metrics, making sure that they're within the specified thresholds. And if there's any opportunity, if we see some dips in accuracy or reliability over time, maybe we need to retrain the model, or maybe we think of something we didn't think of before, and hey, we need to add a few new features to this model and improve it over time. So as that life cycle continues, you can go back into agile design and continue looping through the framework as per best practice in agile and the continuous improvement mindset. So what to do about all this? Well, if you're looking to operationalize analytics and implement an MLOps framework within your business this year, then feel free to reach out to me for a quick chat and brainstorm about this. And just let me know in the comments if y'all want me to make another video recommending the top software as a service tools that are available to support your MLOps lifecycle, and I'll go ahead and make another video. Thanks, and talk to you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you learned something in today's video.